The Zulu tribe of Africa exemplifies one of 12% of cultures that practice no religion. All other cultures participate in one of 10,000 religions and advocate belief in 3 million gods and deities. Within this religious cornucopia, the family of religious concepts represented by the word hell is cross-cultural and on a global scale. We find Naraka in India, Duat in Egypt, Dayu in China, Jigoku and Yomi in Japan, Hades and Taratus in Greece, Niflheim and Heel among Germanic tribes, and Gehenna, Sheol, Abyss, and Gehenna in the Middle East and North Africa. Concepts of hell are associated with anticipated experience of death and instruct followers on what to do about it while still alive. The concept of hell has been recycled over time. Depending upon one's beliefs, hell is a grave or punishment with varying degrees of torture, which endures either transitionally or eternally. Christian and Muslim concepts of hell are essentially rewrites of our numerous ancient beliefs. In his 1898 treatise, The Religion of Babylonia and Assyria, Morris Jastrow Jr. wrote, "What we know of hell today was referred to the netherworld in ancient Babylonian and Assyrian civilizations, which taught it as a place full of horrors and presided over by gods and demons of great strength and fierceness." In 1960, E.A. Wallace Budge wrote in the Book of the Dead that early evidence of the fiery aspect of Christendom's hell is found in the religion of ancient Egypt itself. While it is important to note that Egyptian religious texts do not teach that the eternal torture would go on forever, they did portray the other world as featuring a fiery pit for the damned called Duat, while introducing a final judgment in the afterlife based upon sin. An article in the 1977 edition of Encyclopedia Americana stated that from the 6th century BCE, Buddhism came to feature both hot and cold hells. Hinduism and Buddhism regard hell as a place of spiritual purification by means of varying degrees of torture. They differ from Christianity and Islam in that their afterlife is not based upon final judgment, and the punishment is not eternal. In his 1979 text, La Civiltà Etrusca, Werner Keller wrote that early Christian depictions of hell originated from Etruscan pagan beliefs. Ancient Hebrew and Greek metaphysical beliefs accepted the simplicity of death. The Hebrew word sheol translates to grave, while haides translates to a place in the afterlife. Translations of the Christian Bible tend to obscure original meanings of these words. For example, the King James Version translates sheol a total of 31 times variously as hell, grave, and pit. Hades renders as both hell and grave, a combination of 10 times. Both concepts differ from more ancient counterparts in that they accept death as a fact of life. However, they differ from each other in that Sheol implies that death is final, whereas Hades postulates an afterlife. First century Christians blended ancient Hebrew and Greek concepts of hell. An actual historical location is an important additional ingredient in that recipe. The Valley of Hinnom, also referred to as Gehenna, is found outside the walls of Jerusalem. It is located 300 yards from the southwest gate of the Old City, and to this day remains an historical archaeological dig. In Palestine, the name Valley of Hinnom appears in Hebrew as Ge Ben Hinnom and in Greek as Gehenna. By any name, the place summons a specter of child sacrifice, death, and idolatrous worship. In Hinnom, pagan worshippers frequently perform child sacrifice to their god Moloch. Sacrifices included female first children and children afflicted with abnormalities. During sacrifice, priests banged drums so fathers would not hear their children's screams. Renamed Gehenna in the 1st century AD, the valley became the incinerator for the refuse of Jerusalem, which included dead bodies. In addition to dead animals, humans undeserving of a memorial tomb, such as criminals, were burned there. Sulfur or brimstone sustained the fires. In time, Gehenna became the garbage dump of Jerusalem, where fires burned continuously. Today we see a direct correlation between the root meaning of Gehenna and the action of our dumping of trash or transporting it to a city dump. In Christian scriptures, written in Aramaic Greek, Gehenna appears 12 times and is associated with fire 5 times. The metaphorical Gehenna became a place of eternal punishment, just as it had been in so many earlier religions. Perhaps this synthesis of concepts occurred because Palestine was the trade crossroads of the contemporary world. For example, until the 7th century AD, Arabs held an international religious festival at which visitors celebrated about 350 gods. The cross-cultural concept of hell suggests that all men anticipating their deaths ask what they should do about it. One answer is we can't do anything to prevent it. So the real question becomes, what do we do about it while we still can? Relatively few religions tell us to do as much good on earth while we still can. The vast majority of religions terrify us with threats of a horrible afterlife if we don't obey authority now. So, very clearly, the concept of hell lends itself to manipulating trusting, yet uninformed people. That is certainly a political opportunity for the educated. Whether or not they exploit that opportunity introduces ethical criteria for critique of religion.